I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, you know, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me.
Have you heard the whispers coming out of Hollywood about It Ends With Us? What started as exciting news, a film adaptation starring Blake Lively and directed by Justin Baldoni, quickly spiraled into a messy and very public conflict. At the heart of it all are two very different stories. Blake Lively claims she was sidelined, forced into creative choices she hated. Justin Baldoni says she was fully on board, and now her accusations are damaging his reputation and the film itself. So who's telling the truth? And what exactly happened behind the scenes of this highly anticipated movie? This is the story of clashing narratives, legal battles, and a Hollywood drama that's captivating the world.
It's based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. And I hope people find it inspiring, and yet also, you know, it's a film about a heavy topic. It's about domestic violence.
When news of trouble on the It Ends With Us set first surfaced, it was Blake Lively who stepped forward with explosive allegations. Her claims paint a picture of a star fighting for the very soul of a project she believed in. Lively asserts that from the outset, her creative input was not only disregarded but actively undermined. She states that she was forced to accept comedic elements and high-fashion styling that she felt were completely inappropriate for the source material, a novel known for its serious themes. According to Lively's legal complaint, these changes weren't minor tweaks, they were fundamental shifts that fundamentally altered the tone and message of the film. She argues that her protests were consistently unheeded, leaving her feeling sidelined at critical creative junctures. Ultimately, Lively took her grievances to court, filing a lawsuit alleging reputational harm and citing an unhealthy production environment. Her legal action underscores the severity of her claims and her determination to hold those responsible accountable for what she describes as a deeply damaging experience.
I was testing for a show that ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of two people maybe, and then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious. Either you got the job or there's something wrong. And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
Just when it seemed Blake Lively's narrative had taken hold, Justin Baldoni stepped into the spotlight with a powerful rebuttal. Instead of simply defending himself, Baldoni went on the attack, challenging the very foundation of Lively's claims. He argues that the idea of Lively being an unwitting victim of unwanted creative choices is simply false. According to Baldoni, Lively was deeply involved in shaping the comedic and fashionable aspects of It Ends With Us, and not only involved but approving. He suggests that her current complaints are a complete reversal of her initial stance. To demonstrate the strength of his position, Baldoni took a bold step. He launched a massive $400 million defamation lawsuit against Lively. This move immediately raised eyebrows and shifted the narrative. Why such a drastic measure? Because Baldoni hinted at possessing a compelling arsenal of evidence. Whispers circulated about documents, messages, and communications that directly contradicted Lively's accusations, painting a very different picture of her involvement and agreement with the film's creative direction. Suddenly, the question became, could Lively's version of events truly hold up under scrutiny?
And speak to the human experience. And
Were you reading romance novels?
And I had never read a romance novel.
Never?
And she said, just trust me, read it. So I read it, and by the end of the book, I couldn't even read the text on the page because I was crying so much. My wife was in bed next to me, and she's, I got snot coming out of my nose.
The celebrity defense of Justin Baldoni wasn't just about individual voices, it was about the collective impact of those voices. Gina Rodriguez, with direct experience working under Baldoni's direction, immediately lent credibility to his defense. Her praise for his consistent respect for source material acted as a direct counter to Lively's claims of creative betrayal. Chrissy Metz, known for her warmth and authenticity, added another layer. While her public message was subtle, her private endorsements of Baldoni's transparency and conscientiousness resonated deeply within the industry, painting him as the antithesis of a manipulative figure. Hilary Swank's indirect support was perhaps the most powerful. Her reputation for integrity and her connection to philanthropic circles meant her voice carried significant weight, even without a direct statement. Her reported comments about Baldoni fostering inclusivity suggested a vastly different production environment than the one Lively described. And Mindy Kaling, with her comedic expertise, directly addressed a key point of contention: the humor in It Ends With Us. Her defense of Baldoni's balance and her assertion that collaboration was his style directly challenged the idea that he would unilaterally impose unwanted comedic elements. Taken together, these four women presented a formidable front, their combined reputations and perspectives creating a powerful counter-narrative that began to shift public perception.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which
except
one?
it's
Now
just-
I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with a suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
As more celebrities joined the defense of Justin Baldoni, the weight of their collective voices became undeniable. Selena Gomez's subtle intervention brought insider perspective, suggesting a practical understanding of how film productions typically operate, implicitly questioning the plausibility of Lively's blindsided narrative. Jordan Fisher's direct praise of Baldoni's professionalism and fairness reinforced the emerging theme of Baldoni as a respectful collaborator, directly challenging the accusations of unilateral decision-making. Auli E. Cravalho's testimony, stemming from a chance encounter, highlighted Baldoni's perceived character, open-hearted and collaborative, further solidifying the counter-narrative of a director focused on inclusivity, not imposition. Shawn Mendes's personal endorsement, rooted in friendship and shared values, added an emotional layer, vouching for Baldoni's integrity and honest storytelling. Camila Cabello's direct denial of Baldoni being manipulative and her affirmation of his efforts to uplift voices directly refuted the core of Lively's complaint about feeling sidelined and unheard. And Sophia Bush's call for nuance and multiple perspectives coming from a champion of ethical conduct provided a framework for understanding the complexity of the situation, suggesting that Lively's face value story was likely incomplete. The second wave of celebrity support wasn't just about adding names to a list, it was about reinforcing a consistent image of Justin Baldoni, an image built on collaboration, respect, and ethical conduct, an image that stood in stark contrast to the narrative being presented by Blake Lively, and increasingly, an image that was gaining traction in the court of public opinion.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
The emergence of the Celebrity Defense Squad didn't just change public perception, it sent ripples of anxiety through the Hollywood machine itself. The initial narrative of Blake Lively as the wronged artist began to lose its grip as more and more respected figures vouched for Justin Baldoni's character and methods. Industry insiders started to pay close attention. Studios and investors who had initially seen It Ends With Us as a guaranteed success reportedly became increasingly jittery. The film's promotional machinery, once geared up for a smooth launch, reportedly ground to a halt. Whispers circulated about stalled release dates and scrapped marketing plans. The financial stakes were enormous and the negative press threatened to derail everything. Beyond the immediate impact on the film, deeper questions began to surface. Was Lively's lawsuit a genuine fight for creative integrity, or was there something else at play? The counter-narrative, fueled by celebrity endorsements and hinted at evidence, suggested a different motive: image salvage. The idea gained traction that Lively might have initially approved of the comedic and glamorous direction, only to backtrack when fan reactions to leaked set photos turned sour. This shifted the focus from creative differences to potential misrepresentation, raising the stakes even higher and leaving the industry wondering, what was the real story behind the It Ends With Us drama? And what would be the ultimate fallout? In the dazzling yet often deceptive world of Hollywood, the It Ends With Us saga serves as a stark reminder. Nothing is ever quite as it seems. We began with a promising film adaptation and ended up in a he said, she said battle, amplified by celebrity endorsements and shrouded in legal threats. Blake Lively's fight for creative integrity clashes directly with Justin Baldoni's defense of his collaborative approach, supported by a surprising number of industry voices. But who is truly in the right? And more importantly, does the truth even matter anymore in a town driven by image and reputation? Will we ever see all the evidence? Will a settlement silence the real story? Or will this legal fight drag on, further tarnishing the film and the reputations of those involved? It Ends With Us was supposed to be about emotional honesty, but it's become a masterclass in Hollywood complexity. What's your take on this tangled web of accusations and defenses? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to know if you think the real story will ever truly be revealed.